Okay, today we're just going to start off with basic, showing you some of the snakes that we're going to deal with today. Some are venomous, some are non-venomous, and tell you a little bit about them. Today we're going to start off with my forest cobra. Forest cobra is a baby. Actually one of the smartest snakes that I've seen in a long time. Always looking, always checking out everything. Very cool snake. What I can see as the snake gets bigger, it's going to be a handful. I did have it on aspen bedding, but he was smart enough to bury himself in the aspen bedding and was able to move around where I couldn't find where he was, which I did not find very comfortable. I want to be able to see this guy. So I put him on newspaper. And what I did was I found that he had a couple mites, so I sprayed him up with what I use to get rid of mites, which is this can here. This is Rid. It's for home lice and bed bugs. It's a dust mite spray. And all you do is simply either spray the newspaper or spray the bedding with it, and then just leave it there. And within 30 days, it lasts for 30 days. It's aromatic and it will kill all the mites that are on the snake, so you don't have to really try to treat the snake. As you can see, he's laying right here. He's a very beautiful snake, a little piggy, but he won't take the food from me. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm using my Hex Armor gloves because he's too small right now to be able to bite through them, and we're gonna hook him here, grab him very quickly because he is a very fast snake. Grab him very quickly, make sure that we have control of him as we do here, and then I'm going to move him. I love the color of him. We're going to move him into the holding container while I clean his enclosure. Now all I do to clean his enclosure is, because he's on newspaper, which I love the best, I'm going to take his bowl out and put that in a bucket of hot water for right this second. I was only using this to put his food on because, again, I was spraying the mite bedding down on mite spray onto the newspaper. I didn't want him to ingest any of it, so I'd put his food on here and then I would cover it over with the hide that he had. He will not eat if he thinks that we're watching him. So I have to put the food down, and then he will come and he will eat it when I'm not looking. Again, he's an extremely intelligent snake. He knows that while he's eating, if something is coming to attack him, they will definitely be able to, attack him while he's got food in his mouth. So he's very cautious to make sure that when he eats, there's nobody around, no commotion or anything. And then I was using some really cool cleaning solution. It was a veterinarian cleaner, but they don't sell it, and at least I can't find it anymore to purchase it. So now I'm back to using what I always have used before, and that's rubbing alcohol to clean out the enclosures. And rubbing alcohol works very, very well for the simple fact that it will disinfect, plus it will also clean, and when it dries 100%. There's no residue left over. And then I like using newspaper. As bedding because the newspaper is very easy to clean. Plus the fact that when they go to the bathroom, you see it right away. It can't be hidden under anything. And it forces me to make sure that I keep the tanks cleaner because I can see it, as well as the fact that it forces me to have to handle each animal on a regular basis. Then once I put the newspaper down, I just take plain water and I spray it up. Now I do this for a couple reasons. Number one, it helps to keep the newspaper down. Number two, it puts humidity into the tanks As you know, screen top tanks lose humidity very quickly. This will help with humidity in the tank. It'll help, the snake will be laying on it, so he also will absorb some of the water. And like I said, it also helps to form the newspaper and hold it down initially when we start to do this. Now with him, I give him 2 hides. This hide here, basically I consider that more of my feeding hide. I take his food and I stick it underneath there, and he will find it. He doesn't want to take the food from me, and that's fine. So what I got for him is I got him 2, get him out of here, got him 2 fuzzies, and I put the fuzzies underneath this hide here, and that way he'll come, when I put him back in here, he'll come, he'll find the hide, and he will eat while I'm not watching him, because like I said, he doesn't like to let me see him eat. Now we're going to clean the water bowl, and again I put in a bucket of hot water, and I'll wipe it down, making sure I get everything off of it. So here's a nice clean water bowl. And in the tanks here, I do fill the water bowls up all the way, and I don't care. And dump this one out and fill it back up again. It's got some garbage in there. I don't care if the water gets spilled into the tank, because it will evaporate relatively quickly with the higher heat that we have right now and the snake room due to its winter time. Alright, so basically now his food's under his rock, his hide there. He's got a second hide over here that he can use. He is on newspaper so that I can see exactly where he's at. When he was on the bedding, like I said, he would zoom underneath the bedding. I couldn't tell exactly where he's at, which I didn't like. At his size here, the Hex Armor gloves are probably 99.9% safe, because he won't be able to bite through them. Like I said, he's a very quick little guy here. But hopefully, being I have got him as a young baby here, that I'll be able to he'll be able to trust me. Now you see here, I'll hold him in a couple places. I just won't hold him in one spot. I'm in a couple places. He doesn't fight. He feels pretty secure that way. And then I'll just let him down. And when I let him down, I just make sure that he's not going to zoom up the sides or anything to try to escape. You can see he wasn't trying to bite me. He wasn't flaring out much. I typically find that by actually handling the venomous snakes, by wearing the gloves, it makes them feel a lot more secure, a lot more relaxed, and I don't have as many problems handling them. I'm basically in control all the time. And the last thing we do is we put our lock back on our tanks, because the DEC and my wife is more authoritative than the DEC in this house, requires me to have those locks on. Okay, and the next snake we're going to take out, well, maybe we have to take him out, maybe we won't, is my Western Diamondback. Now, I'm not going to have to clean his enclosure. His enclosure was just cleaned the other day. He's under the hide right here. I might be able to just move the hide back and expose him a little bit here. There he is. Okay, he's in his nice flattened out state right here. You see how he's flattened out, and we're going to offer him food. Today I am wearing my Hex Armor gloves, and I have 2 mice. The one's a little bit small for him. He should something a little bit larger, but I found these in the freezer, so we're gonna start with these here. Okay, normally I'll just move this in front of him a little bit, let him know there's food available. Sometimes he'll strike it. Like right now, he's pretty laid back. So what I'm going to do is, he's not going after it. He's looking at it. He knows it's there. You can see him checking it out a little bit. But he really isn't overly aggressive right now. So what I'm going to do is, what you don't want to do is, you don't want to sham in their face. There he goes, like that. Now he's got the mice and the tongs. Come on, let go of the tongs. There you go. He's got the mice and the tongs. A lot of times when you approach a snake and you jam food right in their face right away, all you end up doing is just scaring them off. Just rub it on their body like I was doing there a little bit, and let them know the food is there. And then when I did stick it up in his face, I actually was a little surprised that he grabbed it like that. But that's cool. That's what we want. He's not going to swallow that either right now while I'm right here. Again, when snakes have food in their mouth, they have really no way of defending themselves. So when they eat, they like to eat in private. So what we're going to do is just put the lock back on the tank, and we're going to let him go. Put him back into the rack where he belongs. And as if you notice too, also that you know, he didn't rattle his tail. He wasn't afraid or anything like that. And within a couple minutes, I guarantee you that once I put him back over there, he's going to have this food devoured. Okay, and the rest of the snakes we're going to show you today basically are we're just going to be cleaning them, giving them fresh water and stuff. They're not going to be fed. Just figured you guys would like to see some of the other snakes that we have. This is my Coachwhip. Now, with my Coachwhip, he's extremely aggressive. I call him pure evil. He's right under here, so we're going to lift the hide up. And there he is. Look at him, boy. Mouth open. He's ready to go. He definitely wants to bite me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this hand over here, get his attention, trying to get him to watch this hand. This is the hand I want him to see. There we go. We got his attention now. He's watching this hand. Then we're going to slowly pick him up with this hand. And once we do, he sees that we're not going to attack him. He will allow us to pick him up without being bit. And I'll move him over to his holding container here. Okay, here we got a Canebrake rattlesnake, and I've raised this one from a baby. And I've been watching a lot of videos lately on venomous snakes and different guys handling them, and you know, I mean, I watched a guy being chased around a room by a black mamba. They use the sticks, they use tongs. They really don't have a lot of control over these snakes, and they hit the floor and they're underneath their enclosures, and you know, really putting people at a very high risk of getting bit. And a lot of people, you know, give me a hard time for actually handling the snakes, for putting my hands on them. But I have a lot of control over them. Again, my safety record speaks for itself. And I'm not chasing things around the room on the floor. Very rarely do I ever have anything hit the floor. I'm not saying that every once in a while a snake I put in an enclosure doesn't come flying up and out, but again, I have a lot of control over them. I'm not running into these problems like a lot of the guys are. So I mean, I think the way I handle them, I call it keeping it real. It's like you don't have to make a major production of it, make it look like, you know, this is some huge process here. As you can see, this one here is my Canebrake rattlesnake. Just because I had it from a baby doesn't mean that it likes me. Trust me, it doesn't. It's taking a few good swipes at me every once in a while. But as you can see, what I'm going to do is, the way I do handle them, I think it keeps them a lot calmer. I just hook them so I can get a hand on them. Now, most people would go from this to a tailing method with the front of the stick, which again I don't like to do. I like to do like here and go with my tailing method, which is to bring them up, and I have control over the snake in the front. So he's only got about 6 inches there that he could strike at me if he wants to, and he cannot get out of my control. So I'm going to put him over here into his other little temporary enclosure, a Rubbermaid seal-tight type of container. Snap him in there, and then I can clean him up here. Again, like I said, I love using newspaper because it forces me to have to take the snake out to handle the snake each and every time. If this would be any type of bedding, as you see, there's a little bit of urate over here, a little bit on the paper, not much though. This would have been bedding though. This would be buried. I wouldn't see it, so I would just say, I don't have to clean this today. But with the newspaper, I see it. It bothers me. I do have to clean it today. So that's why I put it down there. Plus, like I said, it makes me handle the snake. So the snakes get used to me picking them up. It calms them down. They're not thrashing around. Like I said, watch some of these other guys' YouTube videos. I am not putting them down. Please don't think that that's what I'm trying to do. But watch some of their videos when they're using 2 sticks. They're tailing them. These snakes are getting extremely aggressive. They're flailing all over the place. They end up on the floor. They shoot out of Rubbermaid containers they're trying to put them into. Extremely dangerous in my opinion, but I mean, if it works for them, great. You know, but I think my method with the gloves would work a lot better. I think one of the things with the gloves is that it's a lot of people, and me too, I hate change. I'm an old timer just like a lot of these guys are, and they don't want to change the methods that they're using. I've been bit once by the method that they're using, and so I do like the gloves. I think they're a lot more safer. I think that they keep the snake a lot calmer. I think a lot of the times the using of the gloves is just, you know, old timers that don't want to change, and I don't fault them for that because I don't like change either, unfortunately. But I think the gloves and my methods, if you watch closely, watch my videos, watch other people's videos, I think you're going to find that my snakes tend to be a lot calmer, and it's not because I've had everyone, you know, had them for a long time. A lot of the snakes I have, like the forest cobra and stuff, he's relatively new. He's relatively calm as well, being handled with the gloves. So, again, I just, you know, judge for yourself, you know, but please, you know, as I heard recently, a keyboard warrior, which is a kind of a cool expression. But, you know, if you guys don't do this yourself, please don't be bad-mouthing everybody. And if you don't like the way people do it and stuff like that, you just don't watch their videos. I mean, that's all. I mean, you know, being negative and nasty and being haters of people really isn't going to get you very far. Here's a black rat snake that I bought. It came from, originally, he came from Florida. First got him was a little on the aggressive side, but now he's settled down quite a bit. He's a good show snake. I like to use these snakes to show people, you know, who live up in this area what kind of snakes are native to your area. And black rat snakes are a very common snake up here in New York. Love these guys, so I mean, they're awesome looking snakes. They can come in a variety of different color, and I don't really say colors, but patterns. Some have a lot of white on them, some don't. This guy here, he's pretty solid black, except for his belly. His belly's got cream and black markings on it here. Great snakes though for pets. Okay, and this is another black rat snake, but this is a little bit unique one. This is called a white-sided black rat snake, or some people call it a licorice. And here he is. I've had this one for a long time. This has had at least 7-8 years. I got him when he was older. Really cool snake, very docile, eats anything. They're just awesome looking snakes. I really like these guys. Okay, here's another black rat snake. This one here, I acquired him about 2 months ago. I got him from a local nature museum who didn't want him. They said his patterning, this white on him, didn't represent the colors of our local snakes, and they only do native snakes. Although I do find it that this pattern can appear on the northern black rat snakes. This guy was a real pain in the butt to acquire because, as most of you know, you normally can't keep a lot of snakes that are from your state without a permit, which is definitely the case in New York. You need a DEC permit. So for me to acquire this snake from the museum, they had it on their license. I had to get it transferred over to my license. This whole process takes a while. Instead of just being able to them giving it to me, I had to have them transferred over. They had to put it on my license, take it off their license. A real hassle. But I ended up with this nice rat snake here. You can see beautiful coloration though. I personally do like the white markings and stuff on him, but they didn't, so that's why they wanted to get rid of him. And just one more thing I want to say is, a lot of times when you see these videos and they open up their enclosures and their enclosures are dirty, you're like, oh, look how dirty they are. Well, today the reason I'm opening up these enclosures is to actually clean them. If the enclosures weren't dirty, I wouldn't need to be cleaning them. So when I do open them up and they're dirty, or they spilled their water bowl, or for whatever reason, don't look at that as poor husbandry on the part of the keepers. Look at that as they're taking care of that at that particular moment here. So that's the end of the video today, showing you what I had to feed and clean today. If you like what you saw, click the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, subscribe to the videos. Always leave us a comment if you want to us to show you some different snakes, or you got one of your favorites. Feel free to comment and let me know, and we'll put more videos of those snakes up for you. So have a good day, guys, and thanks for watching.